Moving on to our next item is item 7B2, the report regarding facilities maintenance and operations projects. Dr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir. This is a monthly report from the Facilities Maintenance and Operation Department. Dr. Barrera and Ruben Trevino are here to walk us through this month's projects, and this item is for information only.
Good evening, everyone. We got Mr. Trevino here at the podium to present his monthly report on facilities maintenance and operations.
Good evening. I'll be reporting on the projects for the month of October, currently ongoing. The first slide here shows the Sanchez Elementary safety fencing project that we started about 3 weeks ago. It is now complete, and we will be issuing the final completion here this week. And
Does that go up, I'm sorry, does that go all the way around the campus, Ruben?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
yes, it is now 100% fully fenced.
Okay.
With, we left some access gates or service entrance 20 foot wide on the north side, north fence line. And we left the walk gates for kids to walk. And we'll be striping the crosswalks that are going to be needed now. And left the rolling gates in front, swing gates.
How does the construction of the baseball fields next to it affect? Are we in any way affected by
No.
it? Okay.
The next slide is the Fossil Middle School road expansion safety fence project. We were asked to look at the safety fence component for the Ware Road expansion now that it's taking place. What you see here is a sample of a decorative type fence similar to what we did at the high schools with a safety cabling system that goes. There's a bollard about every 60 or 70 feet on this safety type fence. This fence has already been tested to 30, 40, and 50 mile an hour driving speeds by the Department of Transportation. And we're waiting right now on documentation just to make sure that it will suffice the need that we have there on the Ware Road expansion project.
I have a question.
Trustee Saldivar.
Thank you. Is this the same fence that was put around other campuses?
The manufacturer is the same one. However, this has a safety component to it, which is the 3-rail cable system with the bollards that are fully engineered and concreted with piers.
And those lines are running horizontally?
Yes, those are cables that run through the actual poles and the fence railing.
And the pole, is it filled with concrete or is it all cast iron?
Depending on the amount of, depending on the rating that we choose, whether it's a 30, 40, or a 50, it will determine the distance between each bollard that'll be filled with concrete.
This was a concern the board had when we were looking to expand, I guess the Texas Department of Public
Yes.
Transportation was trying to expand that roadway to add more lanes. And this is addressing that concern.
This is addressing that, and the funding was set in place with the monies that were paid for the square footage that we had to let go of for the Ware Road expansion.
So the money we receive for the right-of-way from the state is being able to fund it?
Yes.
So it's not coming out of the
Correct.
general fund as it is
No,
now?
it's placed in an account as a 1P project, and those are the intentions.
So from the moment we collected those funds, we identified the amount of the project and we earmarked it and we've allocated those funds and set them aside?
Yes, the funds are there. The next step is, of course, presenting this item and then going out for proposals.
Thank you. Good.
Ruben, I'm sorry. For me. What rate of speed can that fence tolerate, like if we hit it?
There are 3 types that the manufacturer makes. The highest one is 50 mile an hour speeds, and the speed limit on that section is 50 miles
Yeah.
of Ware Road.
Okay.
Nobody speeds.
Don't go 51. He's gonna go 51 in his blue car, that car is gone.
The next project is the Mackay baseball field improvements. If anyone has driven by or gone by, there's been quite a bit of movement going on back here. The sprinkler system is underway already, and as of today, we are on schedule to hopefully have sod being delivered in the next 10 to 12 days. Next slide. This is the Roosevelt Elementary classroom partition project, where we're replacing some of the old partitions on the campus and going in with solid walls. This was a request from the school, and we're about 90 to 95% complete. After that, we will be doing some modifications in the front office area. The ongoing projects on the fire alarm installs. We have currently 5 different buildings that we will be replacing the fire alarms. This is going to bring us to 12 new fire alarm systems in the last 3 years, and this will put us 2 years ahead on the replacement schedule of the replacements for fire alarms for the district. And you'll see there the Lincoln, Alvarez, Lamar administration, and HR. The next school that will be on the list is Kathy, and that would be due in 2020 for the fire alarm replacements. The next slide is the chiller replacements. We're actually gone out for quotes already on Roosevelt, Bonham, Memorial, Kathy, and Crockett. And this is also following the replacement schedule that we have as a district. And this is going to put us about 4 chillers away from their useful life on the chiller list district-wide. Ongoing projects that we have throughout the district include gas line repairs. One gas line that had to be repaired over at Rowe High School on the back area. The flush meter replacements, working with Texas Gas Service, doing them all district-wide, and also doing the irrigation repairs in the different campuses that you see that have been completed.
Mr. Trevino, Trustee Saldivar has a question.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. Trevino, for your presentation. But going back to the previous slide, when it talks about the chiller replacements at Crockett Administration Building, or the annex, we received a report from MGT, and the board is wanting a workshop, and I'm sure that's in the works to schedule that. There was an elementary school there, and we have some concerns regarding population in the various campuses. If in these discussions, Crockett maybe the property of Crockett may be better suited for something other than the old facility in its present form, it may make sense to look at whether we're replacing chillers or on a facility that the administration may decide after those workshops, including the board, may have better use. And maybe a different structure there, instead of putting chillers on an old structure that may be raised. Not saying it will, but I mean, is it something to think about? I don't know what your timetable is on this. Is it going to be in the summer or in the?
Well, this budget line item was approved over the summer on for the new fiscal year. I've already gone out for quotes, and the plans were to order them here in the next couple of weeks, to have them here by Thanksgiving, to hopefully install some of the most crucial ones during the Christmas break. Okay. And that's a time that we can get them here the fastest and better pricing, because the factories are not as busy as they are in the summer with the chiller orders.
Yeah, and that was before we had, the full information on the MGT report when we approved the budget, so it's understandable. But given what we know now, and not wanting to delay what we'd already approved, maybe I should ask this question. If we saw a need to do something different with that building, could those chillers be utilized in any other location within the district?
Yes, they could.
Okay, so they could be repurposed if we needed to do so.
The Roosevelt, the Bonham, and the Crockett chillers are 3 exact 60-ton chillers that can be used at different locations, so long as we have the same tonnage needed.
Okay, should have asked that instead. Thank you. Takes care of that.
Thank you, Trustee Saldivar. Any other questions? Mr. Trevino.
Yes, sir. Next slide.
Do with the plumbing?
Yes. Some of the ongoing projects on the FMO construction area are door hardware adjustments that we're going through district-wide. The window repairs at Garza have been completed. Whiteboard installs at different campuses, McHigh, Achieve, Rowe, and Lincoln, some relocations. The Rowe High School bleacher replacement is well underway already. The demolition is now 100% complete. The first set of two sides of bleachers were delivered today at noon, and we're expecting the other two small sides to get here in the next 2 days, and the installation is on schedule as of today.
When you say small sides, that's east and west?
Small sides are north and south. The bigger sides are east and west,
Okay,
But it's all four.
but it's all four sides that we're doing
awesome.
on a fully turnkey project, including the motors, everything.
Trustee
So
Esparza.
it's the automated ones, or the electrical ones, or
Yes,
just on the bigger sections, right? Not on the small sections?
all four have them, just like we did at Memorial. It's just the same exact system. We're doing some modifications electrical-wise, but we're doing those in-house. The shut-off panels were installed previously underneath the bleachers, so when they were closed, our electricians couldn't get to them as easy or as fast. We're moving the shut-off panels to the sides now, so that we have them accessible at all times. HVAC projects, Escandon office new unit install was completed last week, and Navarro's classrooms 13 and 14 new units were installed for those classroom areas. Electrical projects, they continue to go down, check on the lighting for exterior on campuses, replacing wall packs wherever needed. Hand dryers have been replaced at Milam, Morris, Memorial High School, and Travis Middle Schools, and we continue to do the assessments district-wide. Outlet for cameras that are being installed. We're providing the electrical where needed on the exterior cameras at the buildings or in new locations. And the Fossa Middle School exterior lighting is being worked on as well. On the for the month of September, there was 1,444 work orders submitted. Completed work orders were 1,531 that were carry forward from the previous month.
Any comments or questions for Mr. Trevino? Sir, I have a question in regards to the ag farm. With the action going on at the baseball field, a couple of the ag parents called and wanted to get an update as to where we are with their project.
I have the subdivision permit ready. The engineer submitted it on Friday. I just need to get with Dr. Gonzalez, Dr. Barrera for signatures and submit it to the city so that the process is moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. No further questions? Thank you, Mr. Trevino.